So sorry, guys. Hey, Moulton, we're sitting here with This New Light doing an interview today. We're super excited. We're going to be putting this through to Blank, so make sure you check out the written article. We've got some questions. We're ready to go. This is straight after his Gold Coast performance for his tour. So if you're ready, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, perfect. So how did it feel performing on the Gold Coast for the first time?
Very exciting. I wasn't expecting anyone to rock up to this show because I don't really know a lot of people on the Gold Coast.
And the confidence is just astounding. Yep, okay.
So it felt incredibly good to sell out. That was something I definitely didn't expect would happen. But it was so cool looking out across this room and seeing a bunch of faces that I did know and also didn't know. And just being able to share my songs in such an intimate setting like this was super special.
Yeah, that's amazing. So your tour was Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunny Coast, and you sold out all three venues.
Yes.
What did that feel like, kind of getting to look, and this is your first tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, so getting to look at that being like, this is our first tour, first time doing this, and we've completely sold out.
Yeah, actually mental, because I made the first post about 2 weeks ago saying that the Sunny Coast had sold out, and I was kind of like, I would almost expect that because that's my hometown. It's a small show, only 40 tickets. And then the next time I posted, Brisbane sold out, was like, oh, okay, this is actually going pretty well. And then when Gold Coast sold out, literally yesterday, it was like, this blows my mind. I did not expect this, especially on my first tour. So yeah, incredibly thankful and grateful for the people that rocked up.
That's amazing. Did you find, so obviously you performed in Brisbane last night and Sunny Coast is hometown, so you've performed in Sunny Coast before.
Yeah.
What's like, is there a different energy to the Gold Coast? Is there a different vibe? What would you kind of say the difference is?
It definitely comes down to the venue spaces. Last night was really a bit more cramped with 100 people in a very small space. Tonight felt really open and intimate, which was cool. And just everyone, like being able to see people's faces is so cool. Gold Coast, how would I describe the vibe? I think it's just new. It's new being able to play to people that I don't really know, and it's an exciting opportunity to try and win them over in playing my music. So it's definitely a different experience because I've never played to a crowd that I would say aren't as familiar with my music. So it was, very cool.
Did you find it more exciting playing to a group of people that you don't know? Because I guess like when you're like first starting out, it's kind of mum, dad, and the whole fam's come along to support. And what would you say, like looking out and seeing all these faces that aren't your friends, that aren't people you know, and that are genuinely just coming here out of like a love for your music? What is that moment like, and do you prefer it?
It's a little intimidating. What's it like? It's a little intimidating. That's my answer. Fair. And what was the second question? Do I prefer it?
Do you prefer it?
I wouldn't say I prefer either or. It's intimidating, but I think tonight, because it was the second show of the tour, I felt a little more settled in our show, in our set, with what the band was doing. So yeah, I don't know if I prefer it. It's kind of thrilling and exciting when the crowd laughs or they clap or when you don't expect them to. So yeah, I think both of them have their place. And yeah, tonight was just super special to play to new people that I'd never really met before. Yeah,
definitely. I guess a big question, and like seeing your show tonight, one of the things that like you did so beautifully, and I guess like vulnerability wise, was like explain the depth behind each of your songs. And like going on from that, what is probably one of your songs that holds the most emotional value to you, or holds just a special place in your heart where it's like, wow, this song just brings me back to this moment?
Well, on vulnerability, I like getting up on stage and being myself. That's, I think, how I like doing it. And in terms of my showmanship, I don't like the idea of putting on too much of a personality or trying to be super joking or anything like that isn't myself. So when I get up on stage, I try and just say the things that are on my head, in my mind and all that stuff, and just try and be very present. A song that has a lot of value to my life, there's probably like quite a few. I think the song that I shared tonight, the title track of the EP, You All Along, is very special because it's essentially my testimony in song form. It's how I came to know the Lord, and it's cool to be able to share that in such an intimate way. being able to have people hear that song and to give them the story behind it is super special. And there wasn't exactly a specific moment in time where I was like, okay, I need to write this song, or there wasn't exactly a trigger, but I think that song has the most value to me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow, I guess on that, where do you see your music direction going? Do you see it going in the same direction of that like really emotional, lyrical, poetic, I guess, experience? Or would you see yourself going down a different avenue? What does that look like for you?
I think it's very dependent on the venues and the spaces and crowds we play to. I think for this tour, it felt very natural to opt for that intimate, vulnerable, sharing a lot of the stories behind the songs. And I think I'd like to still do that in the future. But I imagine I'm probably going to perform and interact with the crowd a little differently when there's 150 people or 200 people or 300 and so on.
Yeah, that's fair. That'd make sense.
Yeah. So I think it's cool to be able to share the songs in this way, in this space. But I imagine it's going to change and evolve as hopefully the project gets bigger and gets more exposure.
Cool. I guess this is like a super interesting question for us is, let's be honest, most creatives have a side hustle.
Yes, that's
What's
true.
your side hustle?
My side hustle?
And would before you share, would it surprise us? Is it going to be something that we're like, all right, that's impressive?
It's not super non-generic, as in I'm not a acrobat or anything super out there.
I'm kind of disappointed. I was expecting really great things.
Yeah. I'm not an acrobat, but my side hustle is teaching. So kind of generic, but I've been studying for the last 5 years to be a teacher. And so that's my side hustle. And hopefully by the end of this year, I'll graduate and get to do a bit of teaching next year, but it's always going to be balancing music and teaching.
Are you teaching music in particular or?
Yeah, hopefully high school music would be the dream. But I also just want to do relief teaching so that I don't have to lock myself into 5 days a week of teaching.
Yeah, definitely. With obviously the time frame, and there was like a whole time period where you weren't able to perform, what were you doing in your downtime to kind of keep that creative flame alive, to really challenge yourself during times where we were either in lockdown or you weren't able to perform?
Yeah. I was probably doing a lot of writing. I think the last headline show I ever played prior to the tour was in September of 2019. So that's, I guess, almost 2 years ago. And since then, I've pretty much just been writing this recent EP. So I guess to stay motivated, to stay creative, it's just been writing songs, recording them. Thankfully I've been able to bring the project back to live shows very recently, and I think that's got me excited again to share my music. So
Awesome. Okay, well, this one's a little bit more of a fun question.
I'm nervous.
What would your Triple J Like a Version song be?
Interesting. I've actually heard recently that Like a Version actually pre-decide. I don't want to get into that scandal. Yeah.
I'm feeling a little heartbroken now. Okay.
But if I had the choice,
if
let's
there's
say in a hypothetical world that I had my own choice of Like a Version, maybe I should go with a song that I just like playing in my busking set or something like that. I absolutely love the song Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears.
Wow, okay.
I don't know if that would work in a Like a Version setting, but yeah, that would be pretty sick to play.
Okay, definitely. I don't know what I expected. It definitely wasn't that.
Yeah.
I kind of, actually, tonight, guys, he did a cover of Dua
Lipa.
Yes.
Don't Start Now.
Don't Start Now. And it was the best thing ever. I'm telling you, all the Gold Coast girls in the room were that excited. It was a little bit funny. Really loved that moment. I feel like that's what will stick with me now.
There you go. Not exactly the most generic song for me.
No,
not a classic TNL song.
It was definitely a shock when you pulled that one out.
It was a bit of fun.
Well, since this is like your tour for your second EP that launched in July,
yes,
could you tell us a little bit about what you're planning next, what that looks like, whether you've got new music?
Yeah. This is very exciting. I've got 4 out of the 5 songs for the next EP all written. And two of the guys that are going to hopefully help me produce it are here in the room, which is very cool. But yeah, we've definitely got...
A shout out moment.
Yeah, a little bit of a shout out. So we've got, 4 out of the 5 songs already written. Most of them have been demoed too. So the plan will be, I'll go a bit quiet. Once this tour finishes, I'll try and finish uni and then graduate and then use the uni holidays to produce those songs with mates and hopefully have at least a new single by early next year and hopefully the full EP by the middle of the year.
It's amazing. That's super exciting. So there's you've got things in place. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time after your show to sit with us.
My pleasure.
Tonight we had Sam performing at Level 117. It was super exciting. It was super awesome. And we're so excited to see what's happening next. Stay tuned and keep up to date with the Molten emails. Bye.
Catch ya.